Picture this shocking reality. While Americans spend thousands on gym memberships and struggle to touch their toes at 65, there's a 92-year-old woman in Okinawa who still tends her garden every morning, climbs stairs without holding the rail, and hasn't seen a doctor for joint pain in decades. Here's what will blow your mind even more. Japanese seniors have the lowest rates of hip fractures in the developed world, with studies showing they're 67% less likely to suffer falls compared to their Western counterparts. Scientists from Harvard Medical School spent 3 years studying morning routines in Japan's blue zones, where people regularly live past 100, and what they discovered challenges everything we thought we knew about aging. The researchers found that these elders don't do intense workouts or complicated yoga poses. Instead, they perform 3 simple, almost meditative movements every single morning that take less than 20 minutes total. These movements have been passed down through generations, and modern science is finally catching up to understand why they work so incredibly well. Get ready, because the number 1 movement on this list is so powerful that researchers found it can reduce your risk of falling by 43% in just 8 weeks. And it's something you've probably never even heard of, called Caesar transitioning, which literally rewires your nervous system's balance mechanisms. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We read and reply to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 3, ankle circles and flexing, ashikubi undo. Let's start with something that sounds almost too simple to matter, but trust me, this changes everything about how you move through your day. Japanese elders begin their mornings while still lying in bed with ankle circles and flexing exercises they call ashikubi undo. The fascinating thing is that your ankles are like the foundation of a house. And when that foundation gets stiff, everything above it suffers. Research from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology tracked 1,400 seniors for 5 years and found that those with poor ankle flexibility were 2.3 times more likely to experience falls. Here's why this matters so much. Your ankles contain mechanoreceptors, sensors that tell your brain where your body is in space. But this morning movement wakes them up like nothing else can. The traditional way to perform this starts before you even get out of bed. You lie on your back and lift one leg slightly off the mattress, maybe just 6 inches or so. Then you rotate your foot in slow, deliberate circles, making them as large as comfortable. You do 10 circles clockwise, then 10 counterclockwise. The key here isn't speed, but really feeling each part of the rotation. After the circles, you point your toes away from you as far as possible. Hold for 3 seconds, then pull them back toward your shin as far as you can, holding again for 3 seconds. You repeat this flexing motion 15 times. Then you switch to the other foot and do the exact same sequence. What makes this even more effective is adding what Japanese elders call resistance work. After the basic movements, you can use a towel wrapped around the ball of your foot. You hold both ends of the towel and gently pull while pushing against it with your foot. This activates not just the ankle joint, but all the small stabilizing muscles in your lower leg that usually get ignored. A study from Kyoto University found that seniors who did this towel resistance for just 2 minutes per ankle showed a 31% improvement in balance tests after 6 weeks. The researchers were amazed because participants were spending less than 10 minutes total each morning, yet the results matched what they'd expect from hour-long physical therapy sessions. The best time to do this is right when you wake up before your feet hit the floor. Your joints have been still all night, and synovial fluid, which is like oil for your joints, has gotten thick. These gentle movements warm everything up gradually. Some Japanese seniors even keep a tennis ball by their bed and roll their foot over it after the ankle circles, which massages the plantar fascia and improves circulation. The combination of movements increases blood flow to your feet by up to 40%, according to thermal imaging studies. This might not sound like much, but for people over 60, that improved circulation can mean the difference between numb, tingly feet and feeling stable and confident when you walk. Now, let's move up the body to a movement that might surprise you with its simplicity. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors can see it and subscribe. We've got more powerful senior health tip videos coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Number 2, shoulder blade squeezes, Kinkakatsu Yos. This next movement addresses something that affects nearly every person over 60 in the modern world, that forward slouch that creeps in from years of sitting, driving, and looking at screens. Japanese elders call this exercise kakatsu yos, which roughly translates to bringing the shoulder blades together for health. What's remarkable is that this single movement can reduce neck pain by 54% and improve breathing capacity by up to 23%, according to research from Osaka Medical College. The study followed 800 participants over 60 for 6 months, and those who did this movement daily needed 40% less pain medication for upper back and neck issues. Here's how the traditional version works. You sit on the edge of your bed or a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor. Your hands rest on your thighs, and you start by taking a deep breath in through your nose. As you breathe in, you slowly pull your shoulder blades together, imagining you're trying to hold a pencil between them. The movement isn't about forcing your shoulders back, but rather engaging the muscles between your shoulder blades. You hold this squeeze for 5 seconds while continuing to breathe normally, then slowly release as you exhale. The entire sequence takes about 8 seconds, and you repeat it 20 times. What makes this particularly effective for seniors is that it counteracts decades of forward posture habits. When your shoulders round forward, your chest muscles get tight while your upper back muscles get weak and stretched out. This imbalance doesn't just cause pain, it actually affects your breathing. Your lungs can't fully expand when your chest is compressed, which means less oxygen gets to your brain and muscles. Japanese researchers discovered that seniors who maintained better posture through this exercise scored 18% higher on cognitive tests, likely due to improved oxygen flow to the brain. The advanced version adds arm movements that increase the benefit dramatically. After you've mastered the basic squeeze, you add what they call wing spreads. You start with your arms at your sides. Then, as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, you slowly raise your arms out to the sides like you're making a snow angel. You bring them up to shoulder height, hold for 3 seconds, then lower them back down. This engages not just your rhomboids and middle trapezius, but also your rotator cuff muscles, which are crucial for shoulder stability. The timing of this movement in your morning routine matters more than you might think. Japanese elders typically do this after the ankle work but before standing activities. Your spine has been compressed all night while lying down, and this movement helps create space between your vertebrae while activating your postural muscles. Some practitioners enhance the exercise by imagining a string pulling them up from the crown of their head, which naturally aligns the spine. They also focus on keeping their chin slightly tucked, which prevents the common mistake of arching the neck back too far. Studies using EMG sensors showed that proper head position during this exercise increases muscle activation by 28%. Speaking of the spine, our next movement takes everything to a whole new level. Number 1, spinal waves, Sitsui no Nami. This movement looks almost like a dance, and that's not far from the truth. Japanese elders call it Sitsui no Nami, or spinal waves, and it's based on the principle that your spine should move like water, not like a rigid stick. Researchers at the National Center for Geriatrics in Japan studied 1,200 seniors and found that those who practiced this movement had 38% less lower back pain and maintained an average of 2.3 inches more height compared to those who didn't. That height retention isn't just about looking taller, it indicates healthier spinal discs and better overall spine health. The movement starts in a seated position, but not just any seated position. You sit toward the front of a chair so your back isn't touching anything. Your feet are hip-width apart and firmly planted on the ground. You begin by imagining your spine as a string of pearls, with each vertebra being one pearl. Starting from your tailbone, you create a wave motion that travels up your spine. You tilt your pelvis back slightly, which rounds your lower back, then you reverse it by tilting your pelvis forward, creating a gentle arch. This wave continues up through your middle back and finally through your neck. The whole movement should take about 4 seconds up and 4 seconds back down. What makes this so effective is that it moves each segment of your spine independently, something we rarely do in daily life. Most of our movements involve the spine moving as one unit, but this exercise creates specific mobility at each level. MRI studies from Japan show that people who do this movement daily have significantly better disc hydration, which is crucial because your discs are like sponges that need movement to stay healthy. Without movement, they dry out and compress, leading to the shrinking height and increased pain that many assume is just part of aging. The researchers found that just 5 minutes of spinal waves increased disc hydration by 12% immediately after the exercise. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 3 movements surprised you the most? And if you had to pick just one to start with tomorrow morning, which would it be and why? Share your experiences and opinions with us in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.